Honey came in and she got me red-handed, creeping with the girl next door. Picture this, we were both butt naked, banging on the bathroom door. How could I forget that I had given her an extra? All this time she was standing there, she listened to her love. Banging on the bathroom, banging on the bathroom, banging on the bathroom, banging on the
Hey, grab your water and let me tell you how I accidentally ruined a marriage. So I was working at K Jewelers while getting my master's degree. And the policy there is that everyone who comes inside of the store and they need to get their ring cleaned or inspected, we have to look up their account to log the inspection, right? Hear that. I was following company policy. Hear that. This man and his wife come inside of the store. She comes straight up to me and she's like, I'm here to get my ring inspected. I'm like, cool. I know how to do that. Let me hook you up, girl. I grab my tablet. And I'm like, who is the ring under? Whose name? And she's like, oh, my husband's name. So she tells me her husband's name, his phone number. Mr. Man back there looking at the watches. He not paying attention to nothing. Okay. So I enter husband name, phone number. Cool. After I do that, 2 rings pop up and they look kind of similar. Okay. So it wasn't like, it was like one ring that was like a chocolate diamond and the other ring that was like a regular diamond. It was 2 cluster rings. And if you know about cluster rings, they kind of all look the same. No tea, no shade. So I'm like, ma'am, is it the ring from 2012 or 2009? She goes, 2009. So now I'm officially scared of this woman because I know what's up. I know what's tea. I can see the pieces coming together. She goes, hand me the tablet. And I go, no problem, because who am I to stand in the way of a woman scorned? So I go to the ring cleaning station and I'm cleaning the ring. And you ever been at somebody's house? You ever been at your friend's house while they getting in trouble? And all you can hear is their mama yelling at them in the background. And you just sitting in their room like this. That was me. So I'm sitting there inspecting the ring. And all I hear is, who was that ring for? Who was in 2009? You was married? You got another wife? And I'm like, wait. Yo, homie had 2 wives. 2 wives. I get done inspecting her ring. I walk back over to her and I'm like, here goes your ring. This man looks me in my face and goes, nice job, stupid. Because what you're not finna do is blame me for the fact that you decided to 2-time at K Jewelers. Okay, you got bigger fish to fry, my friend. The woman has herself a little shopping spree. She gets a necklace, a watch, and a little tennis bracelet for her troubles. And they go on about their day. And that was the last inspection I did.
Begging you, please sit down, Gary. Please don't leave me. Please.
Alright, you can be drunk here all you want to.
Okay, I'm gonna be real drunk here when my people beat your ass.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Police gonna beat your ass and my people gonna beat your ass.
Okay.
Because I'll call the police.
I know you'll call the police.
That's what you want me to do.
No, that's what you always wanted to do. That's why I don't need to be with you.
That's what you want me to do.
Okay. No, I don't want you to do that.
You told me to call my dad.
Yeah,
You
call
told
your
me to
dad.
call these people.
Yeah, go ahead. I said go ahead and get your money so I can go.
That's what you told me to do.
I said all you gotta do is get your money so I can go.
You told me to do.
Okay, whatever.
You want me to do what you told me to do?
Alright, whatever.
Is go out the door. Y'all see this on camera? I'm trying to leave out the door, get away from the situation and make things better for me, but I can't seem to go. So when the police get here, you will see, because I'm gonna have to remove her from me physically. Trying to be polite and just walk out and have a great day, but she won't get off me. Can you please get off of me? I'm asking her twice.
I'm asking you to
Can
sit
you
down.
please get off of me?
Okay, I'm asking you to sit
Can
down.
you please get off of me?
Gary, please don't put your hands. I'm begging you, please sit down, Gary. Please don't.
Right?
Gary,
You see this?
please
I'm trying to go.
Please.
I'm trying to go.
Look at me. Look.
So I just got cheated on by a 37-year-old man, and this is how I found out, because this is just one of the craziest things that I have experienced in quite some time. I'm talking, met the most perfect man, took me to Mexico City 3 weeks ago, cheated on me 2 weeks later, and is 37, like you're pushing 40. And I think it's been a little bit harder for me because if you've been here, you know I went through a pretty bad divorce at the beginning of last year, and so this was my first time putting myself out there and see what's ahead, and just, you know, being really hopeful for dating in the future. I met this man. I feel so seen and secure, like everything's just so lovely, and I feel like I'm being treated so nicely. Pursued me heavily, did the whole thing, reservations, come pick me up, open my car door, always checking in, making me feel secure. It was like a month and a half in, invited me on a fully paid trip to Mexico City and said, hey, the only thing you need is to have your passport. Scrambled to get my passport last minute, went on an international trip at the end of March, beginning of April, and it was so perfect. Like I got back and I was like, dang, like I have so much hope and just gratefulness for where I'm at and what dating's like in the future, and like, oh, there's really good men out there, and like not all men are the same. That's me eating my words. With everything that I've been through in my life, I think a lot of girls can relate to this. I'm very anxiously attached, and so I've been in therapy, you know, working through that over the past couple years. And I think the most upsetting part is that a woman's intuition, like, it's always right. And I don't know the gift that God gave us, but a woman's intuition, it is hardly ever wrong. And this past weekend, I had this deep feeling, and I actually made myself so sick, like spiraling so bad, because I was like, I don't want my anxious attachment or things that I've experienced in my past to keep me from experiencing a good thing. And so I booked me a therapy session that I have this upcoming week to talk through and work through my anxious attachment and my negative tendencies that could ruin a good relationship and love for me in the future. So frustrating, because my intuition was right. This man goes out of town to go see his dad in another state, and it's on Saturday. He calls me after they're doing something, and he was like, hey, me and dad are gonna go to one of my favorite restaurants in this city, and I'll just call you tomorrow when I'm headed back. Totally cool. We don't have to talk all the time. That's fine. Well, I look up the restaurant after we got off the phone that he mentioned, and I look it up, and it's this candlelit, beautiful, romantic spot like on the river. And I was like, you're taking your dad there, but you know, me, I'm like, I don't want my anxious attachment. I don't want my insecurities. I don't want to ruin something. And so I'm going to believe the best until proven otherwise. Definitely had a feeling, didn't dig too much into it, because I was like, no, I'm the issue and I really need to work through my own things and my own craps. Texted him at like 8 o'clock. Doesn't respond to me till 11:30. It's like, oh, hey, I'm headed back to crash out and I'll call you in the morning. Didn't love that, but still, I'm the problem here. Not gonna worry about it too much. I need to chill. The next day, I text him at like 8 a.m. and I was like, how was your night? Doesn't respond till like 11. Leaves me a voicemail. Conveniently is in the city of where the restaurant was, that was very far away from where his dad lives. And he was like, oh, I'm just stopping by here before I head back. I should be there in a couple hours if you want to hang out. Okay, cool. On Instagram, and I'm going through who he follows, and I noticed this one account of this girl that I knew he hadn't been following before, and I click on her profile. I have to say, talked to her, actually, I'm just giving you a spoiler. I talked to her, super nice girl, no ill feelings against her at all. It's always on the man, and she didn't know. So sweet girl, no one come for her, because she's a beautiful, stunning, looks like a very, very, very sweet girl. But I noticed that this girl lived in the city of the restaurant that he took his dad to go to dinner for hours and hours without talking to me at all. So I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere with this. I was over on Sunday, and I'm very much, let's just talk, let's make sure we're on the same page. And so I have the conversation of, hey, has there been a shift in the dynamic of our relationship? Like, this is what I'm feeling, I want to hear from you. He goes, no, I'm so happy with how things are going with us. I still like you so much, and this and this and this. I'm just so happy with where we're at and where we're headed. So I'm like, okay, perfect. I really was being the problem. Like, my intuition's off. I need to go to therapy. We're gonna get it worked out. we're fine. So Wednesday comes along, I still have this nasty gut feeling, and long story short, I'll make a part 2 of exactly how I found out if you guys want to know. End up talking to that girl on Instagram that he had started following who lived in the same city. Turns out our intuition isn't insane and they were in fact out together. Unfortunately, he beat me to the punch and I didn't get a chance to confront him first because I'm assuming she asked him if he had a girlfriend. And the craziest part, and really probably the most hurtful, not to be vulnerable, but this 37-year-old man who pursued me heavily, took me on a trip, did all these things. I had so many different conversations of where are you at? Are we on the same page? Yes, yes, yes. So happy, happy, happy. Cheating's awful. He sends me this long text while I'm at work and was like, I know you probably want to talk about what I did this weekend. Understandable. Effed up on my part. Shouldn't have done that. But I was pulling away and here's all the reasons as to why. And sends me this long laundry list of all of these, excuse my French. I know I'm not even going to do that because I'm better than that. All of these just not valid and crazy reasons as to things that I had done or hadn't done that caused him to be distant and pull away, which therefore caused him to go and cheat. And I was like, I'm not reading all of this. We can talk in person like adults. Comes over later that night. What was crazy is that I've been the girl who has like gone AWOL, cussed out and just crazy before when I've been hurt or triggered anything, and that doesn't work. And I've always ended up regretting my actions after that. And I just, regardless the situation, I think I've never regretted being kind and I've never regretted being composed and put together. So we talked and I listened to all of the reasons and the things that caused him to feel disconnected, that therefore caused him to go cheat on me. And to spare all the details, I was just baffled. I still am baffled. A few of the reasons was not offering to pay for certain dates, not doing a sexual act, and not tagging on my social media platforms, even though I have posted us together, which is a big deal for me in general, but not tagging. And I was just listening to these reasons of, you got caught for cheating on me, and these are the reasons that made you disconnected to therefore cheat on me, was just baffling. In my head, literally in my head, I was just thinking, I was like, man, the day that I go and tell whoever my husband is one day of these reasons and just what happened in this season and story of my life, like, I just feel like his heart would break for me, like my heart was breaking, because who does that to somebody? Who does that to a girl? Especially not being like the poor me victim card, but like I went through a lot over the past 2 years, and he's very, very well aware of it. Even said that right before he asked me to be his girlfriend, of like, I know you've gone through so much. And I'm like, I have. And I'm like, I feel like this is a very safe place for me to land. And eat my words again, was not safe at all. It was very, 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 very different than what was painted to me. And what was crazy is that, you know, the movie He's Just Not That Into You, in that scene when the married guy's in the grocery store talking to the beautiful blonde girl and gives her a number and they're flirting and everything. We were watching that movie a couple days before he went out of town, and he was like, it's not that hard to be loyal, and that's his first mistake, and like, you shouldn't be doing that. Meanwhile, he had already been messaging that girl and had already planned to go out with her that weekend. And I was like, are you well? Like, are you well? Because that's not well. Like, this has been my face all weekend. I know, I love you so much. That's my puppy and I love him so much. Get a support dog. I'm telling you, he's been my buddy. But moral of the story, I think there's a reason why someone can be a certain age and has never been married. I think people tell on themselves along the way. Like, this man always brought up cheating and how it was awful and like how he would never do that, how he's so loyal. Like, weird. Like, I'll make another part 2 on that. And 3, please listen to your intuition and don't let yourself go down this spiral, make you think that you have to go to a therapy session to work it out, when your intuition and your body is just trying to tell you something's really wrong here and you should listen to it.
Water's done.
Story time about how I pimped my baby daddy out. So when I was about 18, 19, my baby daddy used to be a serial cheater. So this one time he had cheated with this girl who had a lot of money, had a good job, had a nice car, and she was older than us. The lady had to be like 35 and we was like 18 or 19. I go through this man's phone. He asking the lady to give him money. She giving him money. She giving him food stamps. She buying my kids clothes. She getting their hair did. She gave my kids the best Christmas. Like, I ain't even flexing. Like, I even like would leave the house so he can go be with Shout. Like, cause I never let him knew that I knew that he was cheating with that lady, because we was broke. We needed that lady. Like, if I go through the phone, know they finna go somewhere, finna go out of town, I would go buy my baby daddy an outfit to go out with her. Nah, he had the lady thinking that I was like a deadbeat mama or something, and he was a single parent at the house by himself. I never told him that I knew he was cheating with that lady till like years later when he caught me cheating. My mama then used to be like, now you know he cheating with that lady. Everybody knew he was cheating with that lady. Everybody used to come tell me, inbox me, send me pictures of them in Walmart. Who cared? Not me. Baby, she probably at Walmart getting something for my kids right now. To this day, I still don't know how my baby daddy swung that. Y'all, I used to see the lady and everything and just say, hey, how you doing? I ain't never had no animosity. To this day, I don't have no animosity to that lady. I actually, ma'am, if you watching this, call my baby daddy. He miss you. Yeah, so she ended up finding out that he lied about me, and she kind of got her heart broke, and she didn't know that we were still together. I was trying to hide it. I don't know where I went wrong, but you know, small town, people talk. He was heartbroken when that lady left, and I was heartbroken too. Baby, when I tell you, me and him was sitting in that bed depressed for about a week when that lady left. Yeah, so yeah, I pimped my baby daddy out.
So y'all, tell me why one day I ended up coming home early from a class. Class got dismissed early because the instructor wasn't there. So I said, well, let me go head back home. And home for me is where I've been living for at least 6 months, and it was with my boyfriend at the time. So 6 months prior to this, my boyfriend at the time was like, hey, I got us a place. You can move in to the place. Here is proof that I got it. Here's the lease, and then here's your key. And he's like, and don't worry about paying for anything. I got the rent, I got the utilities, I just bought furniture, brand new bed, brand new big screen TV, some pots and pans. Like, he took care of everything. So I was like, bet, okay. So I moved in, and it was a 2-bedroom apartment, and I had a key. I had my own closet, had my own walk-in closet. All my stuff was there. Like, I moved in. So back to this particular Saturday, I was like, let me go home and just chill out. So I pull up to the apartment building, and I park. We always park right in the front of the building. And as I'm pulling up, I see a lady and a little girl with the lady, and they was walking out of the apartment building. I didn't know which apartment they came out of because it was like a building with 6 to 8 different apartments. So at that time, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, well, usually I'm not here on Saturday mornings around this time. I'd never seen her before. I never seen a little girl before, but I just was like, okay, this is strange. So then they walk to their car, and they get in the car, and then I'm still in my car getting ready to get out. And just as I'm about to get out of my car, I see her and a little girl get out of their car and walk back into the apartment building. So now my radar is like, that's a little odd right there, but okay. So I get out of my car and I go into the apartment building too, and I walk down the steps. It was a basement apartment, and I pull out my key, and as I'm going down the steps, I see the same lady with the little girl standing at the apartment door, the door to the apartment, with the guy that I was living with. So I see them standing at the door, and at that time the door was still closed. So as I'm about to walk up to put my key in the door all of a sudden opens up, and it's my boyfriend at the time, and he got a little sippy cup in his hand. So I'm like, what is going on here? And the lady, she was just like, oh, what's this about? So her and I both are like in shock. And then he was just standing there like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? Because he wasn't expecting me clearly to come home this early. And I don't know. And then I guess he wasn't expecting her to come. Well, maybe he was expecting her to come back to the door, because he had the sippy cup for the little girl in his hand, get ready to hand it to her. So at that moment, it all clicked. I was like, oh, so this what we doing. And then it's crazy because the neighbor next to us, she came outside her door and she was just standing there. And I'm like, okay. But nevertheless, I spazzed out. I did. And I threw a punch, maybe two, because I was pissed. I was upset. Like y'all say crash out. I crashed out. And I don't condone putting your hands on anybody, man, woman, whatever. But I have to say, like, I was so upset. The fact that I was being deceived and lied to, and I still get pissed when that happens to me. But in this particular time, I was so upset that I just had to resort to physical violence. And so he didn't swing back or anything like that. And she also kind of like let me have my way with him, because I guess she also apparently didn't know either, but I was pissed. And so I guess at some point it clicked for her, because that's when she was like, oh, for real? So that's why me and whatever the little girl name was, that's why me and so-and-so can't move in with you yet, because you got her living in here. Like, she start going off. I'm already going off physically. The little girl runs out of the hallway and run outside. And then our neighbor that came to just stand there to observe went and grabbed the baby. The baby was crying. Like, it was crazy.
Y'all sitting up on here talking about all drill sergeants don't be cheating. Literally, y'all, I got cheated on with a trainee.
Haven't we all?
For real, and I'm not even playing. Like, so this is the story, and y'all, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. All right, so at this point, I'm myself, right? I'm an E5 sergeant, and I'm staying at Fort Gordon at the time, and I'm dating a drill sergeant here at Fort Jackson. You know, we seeing each other almost every other weekend, blah, 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 blah. So he tell me, like, oh, they trying to say I'm messing with trainees. But I kid you not, this boy was always mentoring his trainees. Like, he always was on the phone, like, oh yeah, one of my trainees buying a car, or she doing it, but it was only girls. So I'm like, you a little weird. But I ain't never think he was the type, because he was fine. Like, I felt like if you get me, you get bitches. Like, shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like shit, right? So anyways, come to find out, you know, we had stopped talking at this point. And hold on, so I hear through the grapevine that he gets a trainee pregnant. And I'm just like, no way. So he ended up being under investigation for talking to multiple trainees, but through the investigation, they found out that he actually got one of the trainees pregnant. Okay. So I'm getting ready at this point to go to drill sergeant school myself. At this point, I had a video that had went viral about me talking about the uniform being hot. So I got a lot of followers. And one thing about me, I'm very, very friendly. So I was talking to this particular girl, and she ended up going out with me the whole night. Cool. She was with me from Friday to literally Sunday. Sunday night, we had a game night. We had them little conversation cards, and it was like, tell a story about the time that, you know, it was some domestic violence. That boy ended up putting his hands on me, but I'll tell y'all that story another time, y'all, because I ain't gonna be able to breathe if I tell y'all that story, so just wait. But, so the girl that was with me, I was telling the story, and she kind of like alerted. So I'm like, oh, that's weird, that's strange. You know, as we get in the car, she was like, oh, was that story about, and she said his name. And I'm like, yeah. She was like, oh, because he told me that story before, you know, he was my drill sergeant. And I said, oh, that's weird that he's telling his trainees about me, but okay. And she was just like, she was like, but we was fucking though. And I was like, well, apparently he fucking a lot of his trainees, because he got one on pregnant. She said that was me. So we drive back 20 minutes to the house, and she's talking the whole time about how she wasn't trying to be weird, and how, you know, the reason why I got to that is because she reposted my viral video, and then he was like, oh, that's the girl I told you about. So he told the story about him putting his hands on me, but he switched it and said I beat him up. I don't beat dudes up, I fight back. That's it. That's all. So we get to my house and I just like, you know, go get those stuff. She leave and that was that. The end. I forgot to tell y'all. She lived at Fort Gordon too. So every time he would come see her or come see me, he was coming to see both of us. Like one time we had got into it and I thought he was just being cute and he had dropped some flowers off. I'm like, you drove all the way down here to drop some flowers off and I'm mad at you? No, he probably was in there busting out that tranny on the damn twin mattress. It's a lot. And whole time turns out, and don't ask me no question about what I'm finna tell you. And whole time turns out he was married and he was gay.
Get ready for me when I tell you guys how I found out my ex was cheating on me through a reflection of a picture. And like, I am so serious. I found out he was cheating on me because I literally was able to see a reflection in a picture. It was going great. Like, everything was fine. Like, we would FaceTime every single morning, every single night. Like, when I would get ready for school, like, we'd be on the phone, always a good morning text. Like, we were like medium distance, so we saw each other every single weekend. And he would always update me. Like, he was busy, he would text me. Like, he'll let me know, like, oh, I'm gonna be busy today. So I never worried about anything until one weekend he told me he's gonna be like super busy the whole day. He's gonna be with his family because his family from Michigan is coming like up to see him. So then I'm like, okay, like, that's fine. He's barely responding all day, but I was just like, he's like with his family, so it's okay. So he goes, like, his location's like at this like Italian restaurant, and then I see him post like a blurry picture of like him like at the restaurant. It's just his plate and then like his hand. But then tell me why in like the reflection of the spoon, like, y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I don't know, I really feel like this was like God like really trying to show me something, because like, why can I see a reflection in a spoon? Anyways, in the reflection of the spoon, I see a wine glass and I see red acrylic nails holding the wine glass. So I go like through his following at this point, and I'm like trying to see if I can find like one, like a girl posting a restaurant, like, because usually when you're on a date night, you post that you're on a date night. And he only followed like 300 people, so I was like, this is gonna be easy. I literally found her. I found her. She posted him, like, she didn't post him, but like she posted like their plates, and I was like, yeah, like, this is her. So I text my best friend and I'm like telling her like literally what's going on, and she's like, let's pull up, like, we need to pull up. So I pull up to the restaurant, and there and behold, like, they're literally sitting right there. Like, so I call him to see if he'll take my call, and he he takes it, like, he's just like tells her like, hold on. I see him mouth, my sister's calling me, and then he like leaves the table and he's like, hey baby, blah blah blah, like starts talking to me on the phone. So then I'm like, oh, okay. So I go up to their table while he's talking to me on the phone, because where he was standing, he couldn't see me. I go up to their table while he's talking to me on the phone, and I like sit down, and then I'm like, okay, like, she's looking at me crazy. And then like I like hang up the phone, and then he comes back to the table and he sees me. Yeah. And I was just like, it's so cute that you like Italian, right? Isn't it cute that you like Italian? You're bringing her? Is this your first date? And then she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, he didn't tell you he has a girlfriend of 8 months? Like, how can you miss it? How can you miss it? And then, yeah, and then I just got up and I left, because fuck, I blocked him. And that's how I found out my man was cheating on me, through a reflection on a picture.
Story time of how my ex-boyfriend was actually texting my nail tech behind my back. So at this point, I'm ready to talk about this because I haven't done a story time, and I feel like this is a good story to tell, and I'm no longer embarrassed, even after I went back to him several times after that. But anyways, down to the story time. So my ex-boyfriend and I had a very complicated relationship. Like, we were together for 5 years, and it was really, really difficult for me because he was constantly cheating on me. Anyways, it was a while ago, so my memory is a little bit scrambled, but we had been dating for a while, and we had broken up, and then we were still kind of getting together or whatever. We're thinking, we talked things over, and we said that we're gonna work on things, and we're gonna hopefully like get our relationship back to what it was. I don't even want to tell this story because of how embarrassing it is and how much I let myself be manipulated. But anyways, so this was, I think we came home from somewhere, and my mom had just got a new basketball court or something, and I had told him like, hey, can you help me put it together, because I would love to have a basketball court and have it done for my mom, because I don't want her to do it by herself. He's like, okay, cool, I'll help you, whatever. And so as I was helping him, the bottom of the the basketball courts have like little wheels so you can roll them wherever you want to put them, whatever. Okay, so we had to put on the wheels, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Like, can you just do it? I'll hold the flashlight. Tell me why. This is so funny. Tell me why I was like holding the flashlight. Boom. Text message from Snapchat. Snapchat, out of all things, is crazy to me. But a notification from Snapchat, and guess whose name it was? And I'm gonna say her name because I feel like that's wild. Her name was Jackie, and I went to school with her. She was my nail tech, and she was a really good friend of mine. Like, we were really, really good friends in high school. And I would bring him to my nail appointment, so they knew each other. She knew who she was talking to. So anyways, I literally went ballistic, obviously, because who wouldn't? Like, if your boyfriend was texting your nail tech, like, that's crazy. Anyways, I was like, oh, what the heck, like, you know, going off on him, basically, you know, the normal whatever. And he was like, oh, it's not her, like, it's not her, stop thinking that it's her. And I was like, okay, bet, let me go through your phone and let me text her and see her. I had her on Snapchat, and keep in mind, I was posting pictures of this man. I was literally posting pictures because I thought we were still working on things. So I was like, we're basically still dating. I was posting pictures of this man. I followed her on Snapchat too, and she was texting my man behind my back. That's crazy. Anyways, so I went to her Snap and I saw her name, and lo and behold, same freaking name. And I was like, okay, well, obviously it's her. And so I texted her and I was like, that's crazy. This is Pam. I can't believe you're texting him. Like, that's insane. The fact that I would bring him to my appointments and everything. And I'm very much like always on the girl side, because I always like to like have the benefit of the doubt and think like girls are not gonna do that to me. But this girl knew me very well. This girl was a close friend of mine. This girl I had talked to several times. This girl, she was just learning how to do nails, and I would go get my nails done by her. I really, really was good friends with her. And it was just so, I think it was more the betrayal and the fact that he was telling me that it wasn't her and trying to convince me and gaslight me that it wasn't her. Anyways, she texted back and she's like, oh, I'm not with this little kid games, like, keep me out of this and that. Like, girl, what are you talking about? Keep me out of this, girl. You literally how are you gonna, you got yourself involved in this situation? Like, this is crazy. Keep in mind, I knew her boyfriend, and I think they had just broken up like a week prior, and that's just like crazy. I knew every time we would go to my appointments, obviously girls like to gossip, and we would talk about our boyfriends. I would tell her stories about my boyfriend, she would tell me stories about her boyfriend, vice versa, whatever. The fact that she knew who he was, and then was texting him and saw my stories, saw all my posts and everything, this is so crazy. Like, this is so beyond crazy. I used to have class with this girl. We used to be really close friends. I don't know, it was just more the betrayal. And then a few years later, I saw this girl at Marshall's. This little side quest. I used to work at Marshall's because I just decided to randomly work at Marshall's. But little side quest, I started working at Marshall's, and one day she comes in with her mom. Second she saw me, I know her heart dropped. You know why? Because she literally went and put on her hood and like was walking like this whole time. I didn't say anything just because I'm gonna keep it professional and I'm not gonna be acting ratchet out in public. But oh, you best believe I was so mad. It just, like, honestly, I don't even care about the guy. It's just the fact that, girl, you were my nail tech, and I was literally gossiping about my man and this and that back and forth, and then you go like text him. That's crazy. And then be like, this is little kid stuff, like, I don't want to get involved in this. What? I know you're not trying to gaslight me too into thinking that I'm fucking crazy when you're the one who was texting my man behind my back. Ooh, that girl is not a girl's girl, and she's lucky I didn't report her to the board because she didn't even have a license. So, but anyways, that was my story time. After that, I still went back to him several times, so whatever. But yeah, Jackie, if you're watching this, I don't like you, and I will never like you, and you don't deserve any.
You gotta be a sick ass bitch to come to a woman as a woman and still stay with the nigga after she tell you what the fuck is up. Like bitch, what the fuck was the point? And I'm not saying nobody wants you to leave your man, but if you not gonna leave the nigga, leave the other woman alone. Like, leave that lady alone. It's not gonna make a difference. What the fuck, did you just want a fun fact real quick? Like, you gonna stay with the nigga anyway. Just stay with the nigga. Why did you want confirmation that he was a terrible ass nigga? Just for you to stay with this terrible ass nigga. That is what gets
That's me.
I will never forget the time my ex tried to cheat on me, but I got to the girl before he could. Like literally one day we laying in bed, right? We had just woke up early in the morning and this nigga decides he want to roll over and starts DMing bitches on fucking Facebook, right? So he DMs this girl and she immediately screenshots the fucking messages and sent it to me. Talking about some ain't this your nigga. Bitch, when I say I was immediately embarrassed, because like, what do you mean? I just woke up and I'm getting screenshots of my nigga early in the morning on somebody's motherfucking DMs. So I'm asking him, like, what you doing? Nothing. I'm playing a game on my phone. Bet, because you lied to me and I got the evidence, right? Okay, so why me and the girl end up talking? We talking for weeks and weeks and weeks on end because I'm trying to see what you was trying to get to. Y'all, one night I go stay all night with my ex at his mama's house. At this time we together. I go stay all night with him at his mama's house. My mailbox key and my house key look like the same key, so I already had some up my sleeve. Soon as this nigga went to sleep, I switched out the house key with the mailbox key. And I lied and told this nigga I gotta get up early in the morning to go to the office and talk to the landlord, so I might not be here when you wake up. He done falling for it. Y'all, whole time I'm waking up to go link up with Shorty. Like, we've been talking, I'm trying to crack something. But for real. So we get up, I get up, I link up with her. We go back to the crib and we bumped it up all night, right? By the time we done, night falls. I hear somebody at my door. It's my ex trying to get in the fucking house. So I'm telling Shorty, like, get dressed because my nigga is at the door. Like, hurry up and get dressed. Mind you, she didn't give a fuck because she knew he was trying to cheat on me with her, right? So she was like, bitch, let's get his ass. So I go and open up the door. He talking about some, yeah, for some reason my key don't work. Yeah, dumbass, because it's the mailbox key. So as soon as he get in the house, he see her sitting on the couch, mouth drop. He's like, oh, why is this bitch here? Why is this bitch here? And she's sitting there smiling like, yeah. So he put me in the room like, what was y'all doing? Because mind you, he knew I was fucking with girls before I started fucking with him. So he like, what was y'all doing? I'm lying. Nothing. Chilling. It don't seem like it. Was y'all in here fucking? No. But she hear us. She talking about some, yeah. When I say he was hot, he was like, oh yeah, you about to come in here and go to bed. Boy, I grabbed that motherfucking cover and I went and laid on the couch with her and cuddled with her the rest of the night because who you talking to? Like, I be telling niggas I'm the wrong bitch to play with because I get bitches too. And the same bitch you try to cheat on me with, I guaranteed I can get her before you. Trust. But y'all, and this wasn't the first time I did that shit. This nigga tried to cheat on me again. I did it the second time. But the second time, he found out immediately after it happened, and that was the first time he put his hands on me. When I met this guy, I was like at a very vulnerable moment because my grandma had just died a few days prior. So it was like, you know, you young, you meet a guy, and he be all there for you, da-da-da-da-da. Also, the person that this video is about, they follow me, so I'm not gonna put any names. Also, if you see this video, girl, don't take no offense because you know it's not a lie. And we still cool, so yeah. The second time this shit happened, y'all. So around this time, I'm in cosmetology school. Me and him has been dating for a little while, right? I had 2 dogs. Normally, while I'm in school, he goes get the dogs, take them out, feed them, walks, all this other stuff. The night before, he didn't come home. So he's telling me that he's staying at his auntie's house. Whole time, he at the other bitch's house. So that night, he calls my phone from a number. He said, this is auntie's number. He's like, my phone is dead, but I'm gonna be there in the morning or whatever to handle the dogs, right? The next morning this nigga ain't there and I'm about to go to school. So I'm calling the auntie back, like, I'm gonna use fake names. So I'm calling the auntie back like, hey, is James there? She's like, no. The auntie, that's not really the auntie, like, no. So I'm like, okay, boom. The nigga never came to the house to get the dogs, whatever. I come home from school and my house is trash. I call him going the fuck off, right? Later on that day, we chilling, watching movies on the couch, like big chilling, like based out, legs crossed, all that stuff, right? Y'all, why the bitch come texting me? Because he telling her I'm the auntie. He's using her phone to call me and telling me that she's the auntie and telling her, let me call my auntie from your phone. So she texts my phone looking for him. At this point, the grandma the baby. So she's texting talking about is James there? I'm like, who the fuck is this? She talking about Ashley. Who the fuck is Ashley? At this point, she questioned who the fuck am I? She's like, who the fuck are you? I'm like, I'm his bitch. Who the fuck are you? So at this point, she's like, oh, I fuck with him too. So you know when you young, you ready to crash out about a nigga that doing you dirty. Like just young, dumb, full of cum at this point. So I'm like, bitch, I'll beat your ass. Bitch, don't ever text my phone looking for my nigga. Da, 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 right? Girl, she did not give a fuck. She's like, okay, I'm still gonna fuck him. I'm still gonna fuck him. I'm like, oh, she one of them bitches. Like, I'm really gonna have to beat your ass. Y'all, so we get to arguing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This bitch just never leaving him alone. It's to the point one night I'm at bingo with him, his mama, and her. She texting his phone, are you with her right now? I'm like, oh, this bitch gonna eat my pussy, I guarantee it. So I'm like, let me do what I do. So I started flirting with the bitch. I started writing her like, well, sis, you're not gonna leave my nigga alone, you might as well eat my pussy too. Like, why not? Like, why not make it a thing? She all down for it. So we get to talking, we link up, right? We link up, do what we do. I go back home. The next day I got work. I'm assuming she called this nigga and told this nigga, yeah, me and your bitch fucked. Because the next day I'm about to get ready for work. He calling me like, come to my mama's house so we can talk. And I'm like, I'm about to get ready for work. I gotta do my hair. He's like, well, come do your hair over here. Because my job was 5 minutes, like 2 seconds up the street from his mama's house. I worked at the gym at the time. My dumb ass go all the way to his mama's house to do my hair and get ready for work. My first red flag should have been, why the fuck did you have 2 pit bulls in a small cage? That should have been my red flag. I should have known this nigga was up to something right then and there. Y'all, while I get in there, he talking about some, what'd you do the other night? I'm lying, nothing. You wanna lie to me? I'm gonna keep lying to you. Nothing, 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 nigga, nothing. Y'all, he knew. Next thing I know, this nigga got me on the bed, arms pinned up. This nigga took a pocket knife. When I say cut my clothes from top to bottom, even down my motherfucking legs, like I didn't have shit on but fucking bras and draws. Dogs barking, trying to get out the cage. They trying to attack his ass because my dogs didn't play about me. Y'all, next thing I know, he took a motherfucking extension cord, balled that bitch up and started whipping my ass like I was a fucking kid. Whole time I'm in shock because it's like, this is the first time a nigga ever put his hands on me. So I'm like, what the fuck is really going on? I'm crying. I'm thinking nobody else is in the house with us. His window is cracked about this much. I'm screaming to the top of my lungs, help, help, help. Bitch, I wanted somebody to call the police because what the fuck is really going on? Y'all, his cousin's in the other room. She calling the family up like, y'all need to get here because this nigga is in there beating her ass, right? At this point, this nigga talking about some get up. I could take you to go get some clothes so you can go to work. To work? You just beat my ass and you expect me to go to work? Y'all, my dumb ass get in the car with him. We're gonna go up the street to go get some fucking clothes. Coming back, family outside, his sister banging on the car. Oh, you wanna put your hands on her? He's looking at me like, tell them I didn't do it. My dumb ass like, okay. I'm scared because I don't want to fight the sisters. Your brother just beat my ass. I definitely don't want to fight y'all. Like, come on, it's too much going on. I gotta get to work. Y'all, the sisters is mad at me because they asking me, did he do it? I'm lying, saying no. Girl, they did not talk to me for weeks. Like, the sisters on Facebook making statuses. I can't respect no bitch that allow a nigga to put his hands on her. Like I was just like, damn, bitch. God forbid, it's my first experience. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Y'all, just for me to later find out that this same girl was pregnant by him. The mama knew. The mama, I guess she was having a miscarriage. The mama took her to the motherfucking doctors to get nigga. Lord, when I say I went through so much shit in this relationship, I even had to fight my cousin over this nigga. Lord, yes. That's another motherfucking story. That's another motherfucking story. But yeah, whole time mama knew, but she was playing in my face like, when you having my grandbaby? Whole time, bitch, you already almost had a grandbaby on the way. On top of that, I thought the nigga, he was giving me signs that he was, but that's another motherfucking story. But yeah, like right after that, it was just, my dumb ass still staying with him just for him to try to fuck on my cousin. And she was going crazy. But yeah, y'all, it's just so much shit. I can go on and on and on and on with story times from this relationship. But yeah, if y'all want me to do a story time on why I thought he was and the story time about me fighting my cousin, let me know. I got y'all. Like, I can go on. Like, this was like from the age 19 to 21 was the worst years of my motherfucking life dealing with this nigga.
I found out that my fiance was cheating on me right in the middle of his proposal to me, like literally as it was happening. Now, I was madly in love with this man. I was head over heels, would do whatever he said. If he said jump, I would say how high. At the time, we had been dating for about 2 years, maybe a little bit under 2 years. And the fact that he was even proposing was a shock to me because even though that I was madly in love with him, I didn't quite feel that we were ready for it. But one day, he just decided to surprise me, took me to Orlando for a little bit of fun at the amusement parks because, I like to get down like that with some childish, lighthearted fun. So once we got to the amusement park, he decides to sign up to be a contestant on one of the competition games performances that they had at this theme park. So right before the show is about to start and he's about to start to compete, he hands me over his cell phone and says, babe, please film this. I want you to see what's going to happen. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. How much fun. Like, this is my dream come true. Competition starts. There was like 3 or 4 events that he had to compete with others to win. And ultimately, he won. But remember, I'm filming, right? And I'm filming from his cell phone that he told me to hold. So here I am with his little cell phone filming, all excited, all proud of my man. He starts to receive text messages that are popping up on the screen. The text messages turned out to be from his mistress that he's been messing with the whole time we are together. And she's pissed. She's really pissed. I guess that morning he had texted her to let her know, like, hey, it's over between us because I'm about to get engaged today. And she threw a shit fit, even though she herself was married. So at this point, my heart absolutely drops and like I want to vomit. And I'm sitting here in a crowd with hundreds of people, maybe even thousands of people, trying to keep my hands steady and filming what's happening as he's proposing and announcing it to this whole freaking stadium full of people. But I really know what's happening as I'm seeing these texts flash across the screen. Trauma. Deep breaths, Tiffany. Deep breaths. Now listen, I am not the type of girl that likes it when people see me sweat. I keep my cool. I just smile and I pretend that I'm the just most elated, happiest woman on the planet. So since this proposal has been blasted all over the big screen, that everyone around me is so excited for me, they're congratulating me, and I'm just like in shock and awe. I somehow managed to keep my composure and to just walk outside of the stadium and wait for him outside. Once he shows up, he immediately gives me a huge hug, tells me that he loves me, and of course, does the proposal again to my face this time, not just on the big screen. There's so many people watching. Remember, we're in the middle of a theme park with thousands of people. So I quickly grab him and drag him into the nearest restaurant in this theme park that I could find. And I bring him over to the bar area and I sit him down and I tell him everything that I know. He didn't try to deny it. He knew that he was caught. And for the next 30 minutes, he proceeded to just tell me everything that he thought that I wanted to hear. And I was just numb. The only words that I could manage to muster up at this point were, baby, this 2-carat diamond ring, it's just not going to be enough. What I didn't get into is, did I say yes? And oh, do inquiring minds want to know? Remember, guys, this is real life. This was not a game. This was not a fantasy. So I'm just going to give it to you real based on my very human experience. So no, I did not say yes that day. Remember, we're keeping it real. We're keeping it really, really real here. So we drove home in awkward silence that day. I was completely paralyzed. But about 2 days later, the unhealed version of myself that I was, I agreed to put the ring on and play fiance. Now, so many of your comments were, oh, I would have done this. I would have outed him. I would have thrown the ring at him. Blah, 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 blah. Listen, like I said, this is real life. And I'm just not a messy girl. Why would I embarrass myself further like that? To let him see me sweat? To let hundreds and thousands of people see me sweat? Never gonna happen. I kept my cool to think and calculate and assess the situation and figure out what I was gonna do to not cause further harm to myself. Side note, it took me over 2 years to even tell my own sister, who's my best friend, about this story. So just so that gives you an idea about who I am. To quote Taylor Swift, I keep my side of the street clean. Maybe you don't know what I mean. So we move on to make public appearances with our friends. And here I am with a ring on my finger, but I hadn't even told my friends I was engaged. So when they noticed the rock, they're like, what the heck is this? It was a complete shock to everyone, but I was just sitting there silently with my ring on, just hoping to not have to talk about it. What a shameful experience. Again, people, this is the unhealed version of myself. This was like 10 years ago. To kind of close the loop on all of this, maybe 2 or 3 months at the most went by after that proposal. And of course we fell apart. He was never going to win my trust back. It was never going to work. I had had so much invested in this relationship that it was really hard to break it off immediately. Again, we're human and I'm not messy. So I really tried to give it a go. And it took about 2 years and $10,000 of therapy just to finally be right again with myself. I put in the work. And what did I do with the ring? I know that that's what y'all want to know. I know you want to know. You know what I did? I gave it back. You might think that I'm stupid or that I'm crazy for doing that, but that's just what I did. I didn't need that bad juju. I didn't need him. I didn't want anything from him. I gave that ring back because that shit was tainted. You have to remember that karma will always do its job, okay? Silence is deadly, and silence gives you your power back so that you're not the one looking like a damn fool. He is. I know that getting vindication sounds really, really sexy, but I'm telling you, all it's gonna do is lead to more problems and make you look weak. The best thing I ever did was leave that relationship with my head held high, as little people knew about that incident as possible, and ultimately I educated myself with all the tools that I needed to make sure that I never associated with another man like that ever again. Proof in point, he's never had a single successful relationship after that. He married someone after me, lasted about a year, and anything he's ever done since then, it's all gone kaput, okay? Life is serving him. His life is miserable. I didn't have to do that to him. He did that to himself. Sometimes I do regret not selling the ring though, and like just taking myself on a magical vacation, but I didn't. So that's my story. All I can say is learn as much as you possibly can about narcissists and protect yourself against them.
My husband booked a cruise to Greece with his side piece and lied to me that he's going on business, and this is what I did. Story time. So my husband had been seeing this girl for a while. I knew about it. And this whole time he was seeing this girl, that when I found out that he was seeing this girl, I pretended to go to the doctor and have issues where I can't have sex for a while. So knowing that I can't have sex and he's naive to what I told him, I was protecting myself from any unexpected STDs. So he booked this trip to go to Greece. So he's supposed to, story back up. He told me he has a business trip and he has to fly to another state for that business trip. So I didn't say anything to him. I wasn't sure if he was lying because he does go on business trip out of state. But he tells me he's not just out of state, he's going out of state for this business trip and then he has to go overseas for the other part with his business partners. I was like, I'm used to him doing that as well, going overseas. So I'm like, okay. I didn't say anything, but I was suspicious because I knew he was cheating. So I went. While he was out, I logged in and I checked his itinerary. I've never done that before and he never expected me to do that because it's not something that I would do. And I never told him that I was suspicious of him, of cheating or anything. So he decided to go on this trip. I went and I checked his itinerary. When I checked his itinerary, it said that he's flying to this state and then he's getting on a boat and he's going to Greece. He's going to Greece. I've never been. I've traveled a lot, but I've never been. So I was like, okay, you're going to Greece? So am I. But I'm not going on a boat. So anyhow, I call my bestie. And I said, girl, this is what's happening. I tell her the deed. And she was like, so what you going to do? I said, well, if he's not going on vacation to Greece with his girlfriend, I need a Greece vacation too. So she's like, are you going to go on the boat? And I'm like, no, I'm going to take a plane. I don't want to travel on a boat to go to Greece. I want to go to Greece and enjoy that whole week. He said he's going to be away for 8 days. And I was like, okay, baby, I'll see you in 8 days. So I went ahead and we have certain credit cards that we don't use unless it's like dire emergencies. Those are for like emergency. So we don't, because we leave those in the house, we never take those out with us. We don't have set up for notification that the card has been used or whatever. So I use that card and I book me a first class ticket to Greece in the same one of the resort that he will be stopping at, an all-inclusive resort. And I went there and I stayed there, right? So, no, I booked that. So when he left, so on day 2 after he left, that's when my flight leaves, right? So I'm still communicating. He calls, he checks in, blah, blah, blah. And I check in and I'm fine and blah, 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 this and that. So while he's on the boat and certain times he can't make any phone calls, but he's telling me it's because he's in meetings. I'm like, okay, baby, this is what you got to do. Make that money, honey. So I booked this trip for me and my girlfriend, paid in full by him, that he don't know. And we went on a little shopping spree because we have to get our demure outfits together for Greece. Because Greece is not just hopping on the island. You know, you need to look the part. So we bought our outfits on said credit card and we booked our flight to Greece. 2 days after he left, I guess he was on the water going, we flew to Greece and got there, right? And we're in Greece enjoying everything of Greece. So mind you, I didn't bring a credit card. I took cash from where we keep our cash, or his cash. And we were spending mostly cash. And yes, we used some credit cards, but it was credit card that he wouldn't see the charges. And I'm there and we're enjoying ourselves, child. Everything from the high end, everything. And we're doing high end luxury shopping. We're doing all the excursion, all the things. So I guess he was supposed to get there because that was their last stop. So they were going to be there for 24 hours. Well, we already there for days, enjoying myself. And I'm enjoying life. When he calls, I answer because my phone still works in Greece because we pay the bill. And when he calls, I answer. And sometimes when he's talking to me, like, I can't hear you, I can't hear. So I make it sound like it's on his part why I can't hear him. But, you know, so we spent our whole time, me and my girlfriend. We had so much fun. That all inclusive was so much fun. Luxury to the highest, right? So on day 2, on the last 2 days, he got there. Because I guess they're both stopped in different countries on the way there. He got there and I wasn't hiding. Neither was my friend. So we're at breakfast. We're at breakfast. Who do we see scrolling? My husband. That beautiful man walking with a nice, beautiful girl on his arm. They're both color coordinated, her outfit, her bathing suit, and her cover up, like a little dress thing that she could come into the dining room in. And he's all dressed up in his little shorts and his shirt unbuttoned, and he has the hat, fedora. I'm like, don't they look cute together? So I sat there. I didn't go over to them, and I had my breakfast. And they came in and they sat there and they eat and they smooch and they whatever. They didn't see us, and then they left. And then while he was there, I took a picture of both of them. And I called him and I was like, are you okay? Are you in your meetings? And he's like, yeah, we're swamped over here trying to make this deal, blah, blah, blah. So I sent him the picture. And I said, you look cute. And he's like, what? Where you get this from? What? And then I'm like, don't worry about it, baby. You are okay. You look good. She looks good too. It's all right. And he tried to call me back. I didn't respond. So now they're at the pool hanging out. And I went out there, me and my friend. And we got in the pool and there was a swim up bar and they were sitting there and we just scoot up right next to them and we ordered drinks and this man turned around and looked at me and I looked at him and he looked at me and I looked at him and she looked at me and I looked at her and he was like stuttering, like can't speak. I'm like, oh, hi, nice to meet you here. You come here a lot? And I just turn around with my friend and we just keep having our drinks and whatever. Now he's holding on to my hand to leave the bar, the swim up bar, to go talk. I'm like, I'm having fun. You go over there, you have fun. Girl, get your man. Go have fun. So he's trying his hardest to talk to me at the bar, and this is what he's getting, like the whole that calm, happy, go lucky girl type of situation. I wasn't stressed that you cheated. I wasn't stressed that you decided to take your side piece on a luxury vacation. I wasn't stressed. Me and this man has no kids together. One. So I wasn't stressed. So anyway, we were sitting there and he's still trying to get to me and whatever. So I had booked an excursion that day to go do a photo shoot. So I got up and me and my friend, we left the bar and he's trying to follow us and he forgot about this poor girl. Like she's sitting there by herself, don't know what to do. She don't know if she's going back on a boat, a plane, a train, a car, or she gonna fly, or she gonna morph back to the United States. So I got out of the pool, me and my friend walked and he walked out and he grabbed me, not grabbed me like aggressively grabbed me, but he's like, can you please let us talk? I'm like, baby, we'll talk when we are on US soil. I don't think you want to talk in another country right now. We'll talk when we get home. I'm going to go do what I came here to do. You go do get all the fun you want to have. You brought her here. I'm sure you paid her well, or you spent a lot. Get your money's worth, baby. Get your money's worth. We'll talk later. And he would not leave me alone. So I'm walking into the lobby and he's still walking behind me, fussing and stuff. And I looked at the security and the security looked at me and was like, do you need help? And I'm like, yeah, this man is bothering me. I don't know him. And he's bothering me. And he's like, no, she's my wife. I said, I do not know him. Do you see me wearing a ring? I don't have a ring. I'm not married. I don't know this man. Could you have him leave me alone? So he talked to him and told him, you can't, whatever. So I went to the room and we changed and we grabbed our stuff to bring our clothes because we have like some dresses that we want to switch out. And we went to the shuttle came and picked us up and we went to our location and we did our photo shoot and it was bomb. We did our photo shoot. After we did our photo shoot, we came back to the hotel and we got dressed for dinner. When we went to dinner, I was looking to see him, but there's multiple restaurants, so he could have been at anyone, but he was blowing up my phone. At this point, I turned my phone off and left it in the hotel room because I didn't need it no more. He knew where I was and I knew where he was, and that was that. So we went to dinner, had our dinner, and they had a little party thing, and we enjoyed, and we want to step, and we got lit, and we enjoyed ourselves. My friend is my ride or die, and she do whatever I'm down for. And we had our fun and whatever, and we went back to our room and we slept, and he keeps calling. Nothing. Now their boat leaves the next day, so they got to get out of the hotel and go back on that boat. That man came to the front desk, tried to find me, whatever. I don't know how he did, but for some reason we ran into each other. I came down to the desk and we not ran into each other, but he was trying to find me and they called me and I came down. So I was like, you need to leave me alone and we'll talk about this when we get home. You don't want this in the streets. You do not want this in the street. I'm here to enjoy myself. I'll see you in a couple of days. So long story short, he left with the girl because he was like, no, I'm not going back on that boat. I'll get my stuff and I'll fly back with you. I'm like, no, you're not. If you don't want to be arrested in this country with me screaming bloody murder, you better go take that girl home. You took her here. You're not leaving her stranded and you're not letting her go back on the boat by herself. You're going to be a gentleman, as I thought you were, and you're going to take this girl back on the boat. And I'm sure she knew you were married, so this shouldn't be a shock to her. So go enjoy the rest of your time and your long ride back to the United States. I'll see you when I see you. And it's like, when are you leaving? No, baby. No, I'll see you when I see you. I know where you live. I know where you live. I'll come see you, okay? Or you come see me, whichever one of us get here first. So anyhow, I had another day there. So I had it was like that day and then the other day and then a day later, we flew out. So we flew back my friend and I, we flew back to the US. We had a blast, y'all. I've never had a vacation like that. I've had vacation, but that vacation was filled with all kind of things. Trust me, I can't even speak on it. So we went back to the US and whatever time it took for him to come home, he came home and he came home hollering, bawling, carrying on, whatever. And he came home to me being in the house just the same way. Always leave me in the house and go do what he got to do. He came back. I was working in my office and he came, knocked on the door. Can you talk? I'm like, I'll talk to you when I'm done working. I'm not going to stop working just to come talk to you. You don't do that. So I finished up my online work and I came out and was like, can I help you? And he's like, don't talk to me like I'm a nobody, like you don't know me. We're husband and wife. I said, are we now? Are we? And he's like, yeah, I made a mistake and blah, blah. I said, honey, you've had this mistake going on for months. Why didn't you say nothing? Why should I be the one to say something? I should tell you not to cheat. All you got to do is tell me you wanted to go somewhere else. You wanted to leave. You wanted us to be over with. I would have been fine with it. Because one thing with me, I'm not going to hold on to something that doesn't belong to me. And he's like, oh, I don't like how you're taking this easy. You're probably cheating. I said, no, I'm just happy I found out the time I did. And thank you for that vacation. So what do you mean? Oh, I booked that vacation on your dime, honey. You think I was going to not book it on your dime when you're taking somebody else on a trip? Furthermore, I came back and before I left for this trip, I filed for divorce. So you'll be all right. You could be a free agent and you could do whatever you want. And I said, no, I want to be with you. I'm like, So he went from begging to now being aggressively, nasty with his mouth. Like, oh, well, this is my house and you're not taking anything and blah, 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 and this and that and whatever. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, okay. I'm like, yeah, okay. So we went through the divorce process. Time went by, we went through the divorce process. They asked me, do you need anything? I said, the only thing I need is what's supposed to be mine. I don't want nothing else that wasn't mine before or wasn't given to me. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, well, that car in the driveway that you said not to take, honey, that was a gift. You bought that as a gift to me. That's not a property that you own. And thank you for buying that cash. Thank you. I love you so much for that. Yeah, that car is mine. And this mortgage, my name is half on this deed. So it's either you're going to buy me out because I'm not leaving. So either you're going to buy me out or something else because I'm not leaving and you got to go. And I said, no, the house is mine, blah, blah, blah. I said, you want the house? Okay, buy me out. Buy me out. And he's like, oh, well, there's nothing. Well, you could have half the house and you could have your car and whatever clothes and stuff you have in the house, but everything else is mine. I said, everything else like what? Oh, the bank accounts and blah, 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 other than your private bank account, whatever, it's mine and whatever. I said, when we got married, we signed a prenup, right? Yeah, we signed a prenup. So you're not supposed to get anything. I said, you forgot one clause in the prenup. He says what? If I have full evidence of you cheating, I get 70% of everything because you told me you would never cheat on me. That was your words. You would never cheat on me. And to prove it to me, you said 70% of everything you own. And then in the prenup, you forgot. And baby, I got all the evidence. Thank you very much. I got itineraries. I got all the pictures from your dinners and your hotel charges with your girlfriend. I got everything and your whole cruise with your girlfriend. Yeah. So guess what? 70% of everything is mine. So you could take your little 30% and go share it with your bitch, because I won.
I just want to start by saying that my husband, he's a great dad, a great dad. He's a great provider, but I have told him that he's not a great husband. He has emotionally cheated on me, I should say, 8 times within our marriage. First time was when I was pregnant. The last time was my 24th-ish birthday. And, you know, kind of nervous about uploading this because I already know that it's going to get to him. I blocked my husband just because I don't want to start a fight with him. But a lot of my family and a lot of his family, a lot of his family and a lot of my family think that I am the problem. Every time I kick my husband out because I've caught him, you know, texting other girls, you know, his friends, his family, my family have always been, oh, your poor husband. Oh, it's because we understand because you're such a bitch. Oh, we understand because you have such an attitude. I don't ever start fights with my husband just to start fights with my husband. Nobody wants to fight with their partner. Every time I've caught him, the girls have always brought me up, which is really weird because, like, he knows he's married, right? So he's obviously in the wrong. But if you're trying to sleep with my husband or take my husband, like, why am I being brought up in the conversation? Why are you bringing me up? 100 million men in this world, and you think a married man is the love of your life, which is crazy to me. But I don't know if it's just my karma. Yeah, I don't know if it's just my karma or I don't even know what to say, but yes, my husband has cheated on me 8 times. Emotionally cheated on me. I want to be naive and think that he's never cheated on me physically. He says that he hasn't. I'm going to be naive and I'm going to take his word for it. Why I started uploading these videos? Well, everybody's always talking about, oh, you can always make money off of it. With that money, I'll probably go to therapy or get a BBL. Whatever makes me feel better in the end. But yes, I have kicked him out before. I have tried to get over him, and I have told him that if he wants to move on, go ahead. It's okay. It's fine with me. And I'm so embarrassed that I'm even teary-eyed, or my voice is breaking. Very nervous about uploading this, but you know, don't be like me. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be.
Okay, so I want to do a quick story time on how I caught my ex-boyfriend of 5, almost 6 years cheating on me. Okay, so to give you guys a little backstory, we were like in the perfect relationship. Like, I would have never expected this person to cheat on me, and I don't think anybody in my family or even my friends expected that from him. That's how like shocking it was. And I do want to add that I moved to Arizona with him, like, for a job offer that he got. So I left like my whole life behind for a man. Okay, that's not funny, but so on the day before Thanksgiving, I remember him texting me while I was at work, and he told me that he was gonna go out to eat at Ojos Locos with his friends, and I was like, ew, why the fuck would you want to go eat there if you have a girlfriend? And he was like, you're really gonna embarrass me and make me tell my coworkers that my girlfriend is so toxic that I can't even go out to eat with them. Anyways, that was just like really weird behavior, because like I said, like the relationship was actually perfect. He just started acting so weird out of nowhere. And that same day, he asked me to leave work early to give him a ride to the shop because his car was ready to be picked up. So I did. I went home early, like at 4 p.m. I think. And when I got there, he wasn't there. His phone was dead, so my messages were not going through. I couldn't get in contact with him. Didn't know where he was, nothing. And I remember FaceTiming my best friend because I was like so scared. I'm like, guys, like something's wrong. I don't know where he is. And even they were like, yeah, like maybe you should call the cops or something because like something's not right. Like we thought like this man got into like an accident or something. Like cheating never came to our mind at all. Finally, like around 9 p.m, he calls me. He's like, hey, I'm really sorry. I was at the park with my friends. My phone was dead. Like, I'm on my way home. I was like, oh, like, okay. I go to my car because he didn't have a car at the time. So I went to my car that was in our parking lot
to see who like dropped him off, and it was his coworkers. But this man was so drunk off of his ass that he literally couldn't even walk. I had to carry him inside of our apartment, and he goes to take a shower, and when he's in the shower, something told me to check his phone because it was literally just in my face. So I checked it. I went to the recently deleted messages. Yeah, there was a message that said, "I want to see you," and it was like his coworker's name, like he put it under a guy's name. And I pressed on it, and I just remember like scrolling. This was literally me. I was like shaking because of how shocked I was. I couldn't even read it all, but I remember like checking the pictures that were sent between the two, and there was pictures of her boobs in there. Yeah, so it had been like going on for a while, because like in the messages she was like, "Oh, like, is your girlfriend home?" And he was like, "No, FaceTime me." So then like I take his phone and I call the number, and she answers. She's like, "Hello," like she said it all like cute and shit, and I'm like, "Hello," and she hung up so fast when she heard me. And then I go to the shower while he's in there, and I open up the curtain. I'm like, "What's this?" And he's like shocked, like, "Whoa, no," and I just like throw the phone at his face. But I don't care, he deserved it. And then like he gets out the shower, wraps himself, is like saying he's sorry, blah 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 blah. And I remember like I'm just packing all my shit. I'm like, no, like I'm leaving. I pack up all my shit, get in my car, and I drove 6 hours to LA to my best friend's house because I literally did not know what to do. My body was in shock. I couldn't sleep, nothing. I was just like up. When I tell you guys, the whole time I was driving, I was like, yeah. And so when I get there, we're like being little investigators and stuff, and I put her number in Cash App, and that's how I found out like what her name was. And then I obviously went to Facebook, and like she was, I'm not kidding, in her late 30s, early 40s, which is like not old, but mind you, he's 24, I'm 22, so it's just like weird. And she had 5 kids. Yeah, 5 kids. And also he admitted to me that they had sex in the back of her dad's car while they were at work. Yeah, he told me that to my face. And then I came back to Arizona, and I told him like I'm getting my own apartment, and this man was shocked to his core, guys. Shocked. He's like, "You're really gonna leave me after everything I've done for you?" Like, yeah, the fuck I am, because you cheated on me. And then I made him help me move, which honestly probably should have never done, but whatever. I just did not feel like moving furniture. And I remember whenever he was like helping me move, he was like, "You're really gonna move to this area? Like, this is so ghetto. Like, you're a girl by yourself. Like, you shouldn't live here." And then fast forward a few months, the old apartment complex that we lived in emailed me his forwarding address. Yeah, guess how far it is away from me. 2 minutes. But it's so ghetto here. Why are you here?
I snitched on one of my closest friends for cheating on her fiance. Story time. I had a coworker who became one of my closest friends, and she was way younger than me. She was engaged to a very good man. He was not as attractive as her. She was beautiful, but that didn't take away from what a good man he was. The closer I got to her, the more I started to, find out the more and more stuff that she was doing. And, I'm not the girl's mom. I was her friend, and I would tell her like, "Hey, you shouldn't do that. Like, you're engaged." And she would tell me things like, "I want to live before I get married. I've never done things before. I just want to, explore a little." So the more and more I worked with her, the more and more she was doing. And I felt horrible knowing things, right? I didn't know her fiance, like we weren't friends, but I did meet him a couple of times. But because I knew that he was such a good guy and he treated her like a princess, okay? Like, I just felt really bad. So one day out of nowhere, I get a DM, and it's from him. And he simply asked me, "Hey, is so-and-so cheating on me?" And part of me wanted to tell him like the whole truth, because even though she was my friend, I knew that she did not deserve that man. Like, that man did not deserve what she was doing to him. But all I told them was, if you're asking me, I think you already know the answer. Shortly after that, they called off the engagement. They broke up, and she never spoke to me again. We never even talked about it. We never tried addressing it because I think we both knew that it was just awkward. And I don't know. At times I felt bad about it, but they're both happily married now. And if he would have never asked me, I probably would have never told him anything. But the fact that he asked me, and I still didn't tell him anything. I just said, like, if you're asking me, I think right? Which is kind of telling. But yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person he asked, and he probably got more information, and that's why, you know, he called it off. But yeah. So am I a snitch? And would you snitch? Also, has this ever happened to you? Has someone told on you? Or have you had to ask, you know, your partner's friends what they're doing and found out that they were cheating?
Honey came in and she got me red-handed, creepy with the girl next door. Picture this, we were both butt naked, banging on the bathroom door. How could I forget that I had given her an